Hi guys, Roxanne here from Tiny Home Living. Well, we just got back from town, had to run a bunch of errands, and came back, checked on my poor little Ruby. We had a little bit of fisticuffs going on in the hen house today. The inspector was in sitting on Ruby's eggs and had laid her egg for today, and Chris had to kick her off. She went right back in, kicked Ruby out again. Chris put the inspector out again, put Ruby back on her babies again, and the inspector was very upset. I'll include that clip with today's video because it was so funny. Anyhow, Ruby, we just got back from town, checked on Ruby, and she's on her babies. They've left her alone. So 2 days to go. So anyway, it's a cold, windy, kind of raining off and on. I've got my wood stove going, so gonna get it nice and cozy in here and get this trim for the bathroom door painted. And I think Chris is gonna cut the pieces of trim for around the mirror and that sort of thing. So before we start the day, you know the drill. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell and share this video with your family and friends. Let's get going. The one we call the inspector was on Ruby's eggs, and Chris pushed her off. Listen to her. She is not happy. She tried. Here. She just flew. Come on. She kicked Ruby back off her eggs, so Chris pushed her out. And listen to her. She is not happy. We're trying to offer her these eggs.
Come on, Inspector. Come on.
Ruby's of course happy to have her babies back.
Inspector laid the egg there too.
Yeah, the inspector laid one of these eggs in with Ruby, so she's very upset at having booted off of Ruby's eggs. I think we're gonna have to put a box in front of this so she doesn't look at Ruby trying to get all her eggs arranged again. Yes, and the inspector had them all tucked into her wings and everything the way Ruby does. She tried to steal your babies. She's a little chicken napper. Yes, she's a little chicken napper. Oh, look at, she came outside now after all that beacon off. Ha ha, I made a funny. Yeah, you take your girls and, oh, I guess I'll better not. Yes, okay, you're all set now, aren't you, Ruby? She tried to steal your babies. And of course, since I'm using my wood stove today, I will probably reheat supper in there as well. Might just as well. So I think Chris is coming out to get some stuff done in here. And I'm going to go ahead, get another coat of paint on the clock so I can hopefully get that out of the way, and I'll get some more cardboard on the counter here so I can get some primer on this trim and get some paint on it. Get that hung and up and looking as pretty as that door. Check on my little Ruby and see if she's still on her babies. Oh, you're a good girl. That big bad bully, the inspector, didn't kick you off your babies again? Oh, you got straw hanging in your eye, sweetie. Yeah. Are you all tucked in there again? What a good girl. What a good girl. Yes, you are. Oh, you got straw poking in your eye, sweetie. Well, the oven's already up to 350, and I've got the onion bombs leftover from yesterday in the oven, and we're gonna go outside and stake out where the little barn's gonna go. Clouds over there. Look at this one tree, how leafed out it is. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to cut this grass with the little mower. Yeah, look at all the little blossoms. Look at the paint on my fingers. And that tree there, the middle one, has hardly anything, but they're coming. And one I call the slingshot has some. So this is where we're gonna look at the cherry tree today. Yeah, I know, I thought they were coming. Yeah, it's way better today. I think I'm gonna prune this one too. Now that I can see where the buds are. Because that one looks like it's not going to get buds. This one looks like it's not going to get buds. Whatever ones aren't getting buds, I'm going to prune them. So we're thinking we're going to have to move this shower wall thing. And we're going to put the little barn in here. Mostly because it's close to the house. And so, you know, to come out and milk or take care of things or whatever. It'll be right here, sort of sheltered in the trees, and we don't have to cut down very many trees. So this is kind of where we're going to stake it out. Chickens just love it out here. There's some of them down in this hole here. Lots of grass, lots of clover. It's like chicken heaven. Rusty and his little harem. Now I was looking for the 4th rhubarb here, and we just found 2 more, so there's actually 5. There's a teeny one there, one here, and the other 3 were bigger. This one's coming along good, and this one. I got 5 rhubarbs. I thought I had 4. The blueberries still don't look like they're doing anything. And the gooseberries, there's 3 of them, they're all doing great. Gooseberries. The slingshot tree is doing good. Like I said, that's where the blossoms are all coming in. And the Battleford tree, the last one we planted that Kurt told us to plant, is coming along now. So we've figured out which trees we're going to cut down. We staked it out here, the little barn. Of course that thing is right in the middle, it's almost square in the middle. But we're just going to take the dirt out of that and throw it in the garden for now, and I'm going to put my herbs in the greenhouse this year. So you can see where this flag lines up out here. So we're going to go this way a few feet so it lines up with the tree line, the front of the barn. And we'll just move it that way 4 feet. So this tree, this little clump, and this little clump has to go. And we'll stack them out here in between the trees so they, because this is all wet lumber, they're live trees. So we'll stack them out here so they can dry for a year or 2. What you doing on the front step, WP? You waiting for treats? Well, that's WP and Hazel. Because Hazel's got the nail polish on. You're not a broody hen after all, you little stinker.
Dirty feet.
Yeah, look at your little muddy feet.
Hey, Hazel. Hazel.
She makes that noise when Chris talks to her.
Hi, Hazel. Hey. Hi, Hazel. Hey. Look at on her left ear thing. She's got a little feather hanging down like an earring.
Oh yeah, she does. You're a funny looking chicken. You're a funny looking chicken. You're supposed to be sitting there hatching babies for me. What about you, WP? You might make some pretty babies. Look at her tail feathers. It looks like Rusty's been chomping on them or something. I don't even want to hazard a guess. Now, it's getting dark in here, and Chris doesn't have the lights on in here. I think he can do something with the electrical panel to get it on in here. But what he's got to do now is get these boards on at the top of the concrete board first. Then he's got to cut something the right size to go on here, and then we can get the rest of the trim done in the bathroom. These are kind of finicky. Well, it's pouring rain out, so no more cutting wood tonight. I'm gonna have to do this wood tomorrow. But I do have a little dessert assembly line going here. This gets the chocolate warm and smushy. One more marshmallow to do for that one. And then dessert is done. Done. Yummy. Hi guys, Roxanne here. Well, it is the next day. It's a horrible, cold, rainy day, so I lit the wood stove a while ago. It's nice and cozy in here now. I'm gonna get Chris to put my little clock together so I can get that out of the way. Y'all know how squirrely it makes me when the counters are covered in stuff. So the first thing we're gonna do today is go and move that little hutch that Chris made for Ruby and her babies into the chicken run, because tomorrow's the day, we hope. We have to go to the city too, but we're hoping it's tomorrow, and so we're gonna get that ready so that hopefully we can be prepared. I'm already worrying about my chicken babies falling off the ledge from where the boxes are, because they're up quite high. Maybe Ruby wouldn't let that happen. I don't really know too much about chicken maternity. So we're gonna go get that done so we have that ready for her. I wish I had gotten some video this morning when Chris went and checked on Ruby. There was another chicken smushed in with her. They do that occasionally, and they were just both sitting there. So he wondered why Ruby was so close to the door, and it was because somebody else was in with her. I would like to have known whether it was Hazel or who else tried to get in there? Oh, the inspector. Anyway, I've got to teach that guy to go get the camera when he sees stuff like that I miss. So gonna go get that done first, and then come back in the tiny house here and get some little things done. Didn't get much done yesterday, and I gotta get that jam painted. Chris got the holes filled. He's just gotta sand them, and then I can get some paint on this jam so that he can get the stops in the right place. The stops are right here, so all he has to do is nail them in after I get this done, and then once the stops are in the right place, he can put the doorknob on. So I'm hoping to see a doorknob today. I've got a kitchen garbage bag on my cast boot, and I'm gonna go get my muck boot on because it is so gross. So much chicken poop and squishy stuff out here. So at first we were going to put it on that side of the divider. I'm a little worried about the wind. It gets so crazy here. So Chris has taken the perches that he made out of the trees and out of here, and we're just going to put it right here. That way she's really sheltered, and she'll still be with the other chickens too, and I guess that's supposed to be important. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So we got this stuff moved in here, or this thing moving in here. Look at this is funny. It fits right between the end wall there and this. Chris did not measure this. That's what you call a custom fit. So this is sawdust we collected. We're a little bit worried about the big straw for the babies in there. So Chris is gonna fill this with shavings for Ruby, and some in here too. Where's my finger? There. In there, and some in the back. And then he's going to get the water and a feeder in here for her too. The chickens tend to go in the corner there anyway on those perches when the weather gets hot or rainy. So this takes up half the space, but I think this is the best solution for now. I think everybody will be happy. Especially Ruby and her babies. Those big baby stealers won't be able to get them. Well, I think we're as ready as we can get. This was the wood shavings we saved from when we were planing the doors. So she's totally out of the wind and covered from the rain, and the babies are protected. She's got her food and water, so everything's ready to go. Mama, I got everything ready. Got everything ready. Let me see your eggs. Are they in there? Where's your eggs? Where's your babies? Oh, there they are.
Oh, there's probably one in there.
Hey?
There's probably another one in there.
Oh dear. I'm gonna take her out and check.
In there, brother.
Yeah, I think that Chris thinks the chicken earlier that was in there might have laid an egg. So he's gonna take Ruby out and check on her. What do we got here so far? 6 here. Is there any below?
No.
No, not
I just
yet.
put them there.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Ruby.
Make sure they don't fall out. We don't want your babies falling out, do we?
Okay.
Okay, okay. It's okay, sweetie. I think this one. Oh no, that's
Probably the furthest one.
2, 4, 6, 8. No, there's 10.
Oh.
So I'm going to put them a little bit more in
girl.
the middle again.
Good girl.
Oh, they're all nice and warm.
Watching you.
Yep. There you go, sweetie. That gives her a little bit of room to get her feet back in there and step in. Yes, I know it's windy too, isn't it, sweetie? Oh, careful. Oh, don't step on them. Don't step on them, sweetie. Here you go. Yeah, you get them. Good girl. Get them all back underneath. What a good girl you are. If you got your little bum over at that end, then somebody else can't push their way in, hopefully. Oh, that's so funny. Yes. We'll put a little bit more straw in here, too. How's that? Okay. Good girl. Good girl. Yes, you are. You're such a good mama. You're such a good mama. Then she comes a little bit forward and fluffs her chest over top of them. Get that last one in. Good girl. Good girl. Yes, you are. See, Skip the Dishes has been here again. Oh, there she goes. Now she gets them all positioned, then she sort of wiggles back and forth and fluffs everything up. What a good mama. I'll close it. I know it's windy and you don't like that, do you? Now this has got to be the strangest place I've ever seen for a robin's nest. But look. This. Don't know if you can see from this angle. Can you see eggs? There we go. Can you see the eggs? Yesterday there were 2. The day before there was 1, and now there's 3. And she sits up in the trees and watches us when we're looking. When in Ontario, if you tried to do this with a blue jay nest, they actually dive at you and claw your head. I know this from personal experience. Nasty. But the robin just sits up there and watches me. And you can also check out Tiny Home Living in Alberta on Instagram. I'm posting a bunch of pictures from the tiny house, just the homestead, the gardening, the chicks, hopefully tomorrow. Well guys, as usual, the old people are pooped and hungry. I'll just show you what Chris got done. I got done the most important job today. I got my mom's little clock put back together. We had a heck of a time. It was like a Chinese puzzle. The little hinges were actually bigger on one side than the other. So the front face of it was sitting over this way, and we turned them this way and that and every other way. Trying to figure out how to get this thing put back together so that this lined up properly. But I'm really happy with that. I think it looks really nice. It's just a cute little spot on the wall there. That's where my little chicken was, and my little chicken's going over by the wood stove now, which I think is fitting because it says kitchen's closed. This chick has had it, which, you know, that usually involves cooking. So I've also got my mom's little cardinal salt and pepper shakers. This kind of thing drove my mom nuts because she would see a picture or a painting, and the one being, like, if they're both red, that drove her crazy because it's the male that's red and the female is sort of like a drab beigey red color. And years ago I went to an auction to preview an auction, and there was beautiful, it was actually signed by the artist. I think it was a print, but it was signed by the artist, and it was a cat looking out a window at some cardinals. And my mom just loved cardinals, and her birthday was coming up, and this painting was pretty big. So it came time for the auction. I was so tired after working all day that it was like a Tuesday or something silly like that. So I put in a $100 blind bid, and I got this painting. Well, then I couldn't remember if it had male and female cardinals on it. So I went with my son to pick it up, and he was looking at it, and I said, turn that thing around, I need to look at it. And sure enough, it had either a male and 2 females or 2 males and a female. So I boxed that up and sent it to Mom, and she was just thrilled with it. Of course, I got it back when I cleaned out her house. You know, she just loved that painting, and she just loved cardinals so much. But she did love that print, and I put in a blind bid of $100, and I couldn't believe I got it because it was actually signed by the artist. So anyway, we are done for today. That Chris, I got my little clock done, which makes me really happy. I got the trim done for the other side of the gem here, and the part for the top, Chris has got that all cut and measured, so he just has to nail it on. I still don't have my little piece of baseboard nailed on there, which is, yeah, you know, it's gonna make me squirrely. So this was really tricky getting this all set up. These pieces cut up here. So he ended up ripping them so that the tiles, we were gonna have to cut the tile in half. So he's got it so that the tile can just run wild up onto the wood, and we won't have to cut them, which is awesome. Anytime you can cut out a little bit of work like that by thinking ahead. So again, the bathroom's a mess. But again, it's really tricky figuring out the trim for here. The spacer here is going to be a problem, so I said just put it a couple inches back instead of flush with the cabinet. That's fine, it's not a big deal, and that way the trim can sit on here properly. So lots of little things done, and again, you know, once this is all done, I can tidy up here, and that makes me happy. We're in the third week in May now, and I just can't believe it's this late in May, so we really need to get to the outdoor stuff. And now, because of this rain the last couple of days, cutting the grass, it's going to be a struggle getting caught up with that. So, as usual, lots of things to do. Nothing terribly exciting. I mean, it's exciting to me. I hope you guys get as excited as I am and can see, you know, the progress and what hard work all this little stuff is. But we're going to go make supper now. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell and share this video with your family and friends. And we'll see you next time.